I always say, and see myself. I'm a Buddhist, and so I always see myself as a very spiritual person. So I always said that I saw the Parkinson's as a gift. At one point in my life, I don't know if I see that too much anymore, because as it kind of drags on. But
deep brain stimulation. I also think DBS is the brain surgery.
I really was kind of bad in this. I didn't read any of the material they gave me. I really didn't know what the surgery was going to be like. All I knew was that I couldn't take any drugs, and that I was going to...
to be honest, it's a little bit unlike me, because I'm not totally informed.
I was going to be awake through the whole thing.
Not quite knocked me out.
Other than that, I really didn't know that much. It was probably very good that I didn't know that much, because it was easier to deal with having it kind of just happen.
My particular case, my fear has been of the actual process.
They do it.
In my case, they're only going to do one side of my brain for now.
2 surgeries. In the first surgery,
to do each side separately.
They drill the burr hole, which is the little hole that they make in your skull, and they put in the lead, and that's the first surgery. It's about 6 hours.
So I'm going to do one side, see how that feels.
And then that's one side of your brain. And then during the second surgery, they put in the other burr hole and put in the lead on the other hemisphere. And then they attach it to a wire that goes down
the operation
on the side of your head, on the side of your neck, and down into your chest wall.
You can hear
where they put a little battery.
The halo is the worst part.
They nail they actually screw my head to this
screwdriver
thing called the halo, and I think of it as being nailed down. And
drilling.
And they drill a hole in my skull, and then they
can hear everything.
Shove some wires down in there, and that takes a long time.
It's weird.
They're not really shoved at all. They're very carefully.
What you have to do is, you're ready to do it, just
push down in there.
Close your eyes and let it go.
What they're going to be doing is installing 2 leads into my brain.
Anyway, apparently that takes a long time, and they very carefully have to push, guide the wires down. Someone told me something like every inch or half inch takes a half an hour or something like that.
They're like little electronic wires that go into, in my case, the subthalamic region.
So several hours of...
I'm going to have one on each hemisphere of my brain.
The wires down in there, and basically... once they get close, they start talking to me, I guess, and so I have to be sort of semi-conscious.
Then there's a pack that you have.
I guess the easy part, presumably surgically, is they put this stimulator down in your clavicle and run a wire up inside under your skin.
They make adjustments to the
behind your ear to connect
electronic pulses that go into these leads.
That is a similar technology
lead has 4 different little areas that emit pulses.
Pacemaker technology.
They're very clear that it takes 3 to 6 months to get these leads adjusted properly.
Battery thingy that's in your body and that operates this stimulator all day, every day. And then they can program it, and apparently that's a real art.
And somehow it brings all of the...
They want to find the right frequency and amplitude.
Transmission of data that comes out into a more synchronous pattern.
So I hope to find out lots about this as I go.
Hopefully I won't need any more medications, and I'll just be able to run down the street and dance my heart out.
I went in and she turned it on. They turned it on and it started at 1 volt. And then you add increments of 10% or 1/10 of a volt, I think. Every 2 days or every time you feel like it, you might not want to do it right away. Or as often as people might think. Like she just turned it up to 1.5. And I've turned it up to 1.7 since then. That's as far as I've gone. It's been a week, but it's time to turn it up again. But you get a different response every time you turn it up. Like sometimes my scalp percolates on one side and sometimes it's on the other. And moving around, some days I fall more and other days it makes your body slightly not as, it doesn't respond in the way that you're used to exactly, because it's different, it changes. So you keep adding more bolts and see what you get.
The neurologist comes out and they check you, and they just try to adjust the voltage. And I got into like a baby, and I couldn't breathe. And so she releases, give me less voltage. She did that twice, and I thought I was going to die.
I mean, I was bouncing off the walls, literally, because they turned me up too high. And I mean, like I said, he called it kind of an allergic reaction, or I was my brain was very sensitive to the electricity. I couldn't sit still. Head was snapping back and forth. I mean, it looked like I was having a lot of teeth were grinding, and that was my nightmare. So then, usually, because a year and a half and I'm still turning it up, usually this takes 3 to 6 months before you're all tuned up and ready to go. So I still have to be careful of, now I'm doing it myself. I'm turning up the machine myself.
Well, you get an energy thing in your head it's not at all like a headache. It's more like just a percolation or a vibration in your head. Sometimes on one side, sometimes depending on which side of the brain you're working with.
Well, the thing is that I'm glad I had it done. But if I knew then what I know now, I might be hesitant. I might not have done it, but I don't. But that's not the way to do it either. I mean, because okay, so if I didn't do it and I didn't have that experience, I'd be laying in bed peeing in my pants all day. So what is that? Is that worth? Is that worth it? So, I mean, now at least I can get out and I can do things. And, so it's still my movements are still frustrated, but still not, not like they were before. So,
I think you gotta be positive. If you're not positive, you're gonna be in trouble.